It's Mike White. Mike White is a former coworker of mine. I worked with him at Universal. That's why he and Brendan Danick and I are the Winning is Universal League, which is an homage to one of our earliest campaigns that we all worked on together, more or less. Mike is one of the biggest Patriots fans that I've ever met. So I've always been giving him a hard time. Short story, when they lost to the Dolphins in week 13,
Uh-huh.
um, I went into his Apple Mail and changed his mail sound effect to a dolphin. And every time he would get a new email, it would make that sound.
That's awesome.
And then I couldn't undo it.
Couldn't undo it.
As
Not
far
that
as
you
I
were
know,
writing.
today still he's getting the same sound effect.
Dolphin. Oh, that is great. I love it.
All right.
He was a formidable competitor last
He's
year.
runner up, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a beast, honestly. He was stressful to play against. He was my most stressful matchups that I played, I'd say, amongst the definitely the top two, three. Strong team and performed really well. Let's talk about how he did in the draft. His picks, his strengths, as written down by Kyle, I believe here, for QB. Sean Watson, Ben Roethlisberger, who I think has declined now, but has peaked out in my opinion. I think Big Ben's fallen down a lot of experts draft boards, but you know.
Yes, but he was the third quarterback overall last season. Like sneakily had one of the most productive like quarterback seasons.
And I benefited from that on one of my fantasy teams, so I get that definitely. That's true. I would be selling him though. Now I would be selling my Roethlisberger stock at this point.
I sold it to him when my season was over for that first round pick and a couple other guys. I don't remember the nature of the deal. I might have even given him Lockett, which now I deeply regret.
But definitely inarguably strong quarterbacks, but there's some future concerns here, I'd say, with Ben and Philip Rivers just based on age and, but in Ben's case, loss of AB and just other things where, it's like, the Ben Roethlisberger AB connection cannot be overstated. That the only quarterback that ever threw to AB was Ben Roethlisberger. They had a thing that cannot be denied. You take that away, then does that just automatically happen with Juju? Does that automatically happen for Ben? Does everybody maintain their productivity? A lot of questions there. So it's going to be an interesting year to see. I'm not saying Ben's going to suck, but I think there's going to be a regression there with him. It's more likely than not. But anyway, moving on here, it's Devontae Adams. I take it. You just put Adams there. Yeah, strong beast, number one on most people's. Adam Thielen. Julian Edelman, super strong here. Tyler Lockett, beastly wide receiving core.
That's like one of those wide receiving cores what we were talking about earlier. You don't need a tight end.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing, just to say, I didn't say this earlier, but I just wanted bears repeating that. In a way, it really was. I really appreciate that Kyle added the bonus as the commissioner on this, and that we all approved it. Because it's a compensatory factor for the fact that the tight ends is the weirdest position in fantasy because it's top heavy by nature. You have a cluster of only 4 or 5 that are going to score decently well, and the rest are all just a huge drop off right at that point. So the drop off between tier 1 and tier 2, if you want to call it that, between the Ertz, Kittle, Kelsey, possibly OJ Howard. Kind of, between.
Yeah, he's kind of at the break, though. Like, he could be in second tier. He doesn't have enough proven production at this point. He's been flashes of just phenomenal athleticism and production, but nothing consistent.
Yeah, so it's almost a compensatory factor. It rewards those who are smart enough to get the top guys, like the Kittles and the Kelseys and the Ertzes, maybe, hopefully going forward. But, it also compensates for the fact that these other guys are holding on to just guys that are way farther down the ladder just because of the big gap play there. So, yeah, anyway, I just wanted to add that to the previous TV conversation that, to me, it's almost kind of fixing what's broken in most fantasy leagues is that factor. And it's the reason we're seeing Kelsey going in the first round now, right?
Oh yeah,
Because
I know.
you stack that production on top of a T, and then God forbid you had the TE bonus, which is rare, but it's like, oh shit, you got problems.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest positional advantages when you have to start one, and when it's not, then everything else just becomes about who's the best receiver, who's the best weapon on your team.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
and so it
That's
just
that's why I like the merging of the wide receiver and the tight end class and giving the tight end a bonus. So like the guys that are irrelevant can still somehow be relevant because
Right.
thanks to the bonus. I personally think it makes a lot of sense. I just wish we had one more.
So if we look at like what was it? Let's see here. This was weaknesses. Okay, running back David Johnson. I don't know if that was saying David Johnson
Well, he's
was
like it doesn't have anyone behind him.
behind it. Okay, right. Only David Johnson. Yeah. So I think
got
his
David
stock's
Johnson
going up
and,
this year.
He's
But yeah,
relying on White, which I think is a pretty safe bet, to be honest.
I do
Yeah.
too. That's a good argument.
PPR White is going to be valuable. There's just a lot of now running backs in that backfield with Damian Harris and Sony Michel. I have questions about his consistency mostly.
See,
Yep,
the
and
other
also
problem that
the
I
way
have
he-
with his team is old as hell.
It's what?
It's just old. His team's just old.
Older, yeah.
Like
True.
like a lot of old players who are not going to be around for much longer. Like
Well, I'll say, I mean, with a core foundation of Devontae Adams and Deshaun Watson alone, those are two very young, very like high, bright future prospects. I think he can build around that, and it's actually one of the more solid foundations of some of the teams. So with all the age, like he's primed basically to win again this season, without a doubt. If he wants
Here's the
to.
picture that I'm painting. Okay, this guy's got the best team in the league, most likely.
Yeah.
One of, if not the best, right?
For the starters, yep.
He's gonna crush it. He's gonna be late in the playoffs again, and then his quarterbacks start retiring.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't have Big Ben, doesn't have Phillip Rivers anymore.
He is the Patriots. He's a metaphor for his own favorite team.
You know what I mean? Like it's he's gonna have to do some things here because yes, he's if he doesn't win this year, he's gonna really have to try to win next year. That's just how I feel. If he doesn't win this year, he's gonna have to try really hard to win next year, and if he doesn't win that, this team could be in trouble.
Yeah, he's a win now guy for sure.
Yeah.
This year or next for sure. But yeah, totally agree. So he's gonna be a pain in the ass to deal with this year and tough. And definitely put him in the playoffs again. Pretty much, it would be his to lose.
Let's look at his draft real quick, just to see what he did.
Okay, so moving over to
So he didn't have a first. He traded it away. His first pick of the draft was Devin Singletary, Buffalo running back. Yeah, it's depth. It's something. He came back and drafted Justice Hill in the same round. I like Justice Hill as a potential satellite back, really, in Baltimore. But we'll see, because the thing about running quarterbacks, it seems, is that they don't dump it off very often. Melvin Gordon and like Eckler, when they're playing in San Diego, they get a lot of receiving looks because Phillip Rivers is the king of the check down. Like that guy had -5 rushing yards over the past 2 seasons. Like, I'm not even joking.
I didn't know that stat. That's a great stat.
So Rivers is the check down master, and Jackson is quite the opposite. I mean, they're on totally different ends of the spectrum. So rather than, I mean, you could see him pump fake to a satellite back and then just tuck it and go. So I don't know if he's going to have a ton of value in this system, but there's always a chance. So he's got 2 lottery tickets in the first round, his first round. He drafts his Jarrett Stidham, backup heir apparent to Tom Brady. Although I'm not sure that we can necessarily say he's the heir apparent.
No.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something.
I don't believe that.
That's a bit of a homer pick, I'd say.
Yes.
I do like the Josh Oliver, though. I mean, gamble on tight end, why not?
Yeah, in a team that has really no one at tight end.
And again, but his wide receivers, like he doesn't need a tight end.
Yeah,
And that's why it made sense for him to not pick up J. Jaw, right? Which was about the only Hakeem Butler. I see why he went there with Devin Singletary because he doesn't have a need there.
I actually really like this draft. I think Devin Singletary and Justice Sold. I think that's like two solid picks, considering the fact that the only thing I dinged them for was grabbing the quarterback that I think is worthless in the third round. He should have probably gone with another running back there. Just gambled on one more. And yeah, man, I gave him a B minus though, even though he didn't have a first round pick, just because I do like the Devin Singletary, Justice Hill pickups.
B minus for me too.
I don't remember if we can pop over. I give him props. I mean, he's going
A minus.
A minus. Yeah, I think he had a strong draft. He's really primed to win again, and he's done a little bit to get some insurance at his running back depth, which is the only position.
And then he did made a trade with me too to try to get. He got Philip Lindsay.
Oh yeah, so he's looking pretty good then.
I give him an A for the management of his team in general.
Yeah,
it's good.
Sure,
He's good.
yeah.
Mike is a good player.
Yep.